Hello and welcome to my second podcast. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. I'm happy to have you here again. If you are a new viewer, and I know there are some of you, a very warm welcome to you as well. My name is Sarah and I'm coming to you from the northwest of Germany. And in this podcast, I mostly talk about knitting as my favorite hobby to do, but let me tell you, there are some other fiber arts I would like to dive into, like yarn dyeing and crocheting, and I did a little bit on that, but I will share these adventures maybe in future podcasts. Let's start with finished objects. And today I just have one finished object for you. And the object I can present to you is the Sunday cardigan in mohair edition by Petite Knit. And let me tell you, I love it. And I'm planning on have several more of them in different colors. This thing is lovely. It's lightweight. It's super warm and cozy. It's cuddly. And I want to have many more of them. As you can see, I have chosen a berry color for this. It has a hint of mauve in it, but I'm not quite sure how to describe colors in English. I really have to work on that, I guess. Okay, never mind. And as you can see, it fits to the dress I'm wearing today, and that was the plan. I had the dress and I thought, okay, I need a cardigan because I want to wear this dress in autumn. And this was the perfect opportunity to whip up this beautiful thing. As you can see, this cardigan has no buttons at all, and I think it doesn't need it. You have a ribbed yoke, I would say. So you start here at the top, at the neck, and you work your way down. You separate the sleeves, and the sleeves and the body are just plain stockinette stitch. It's very easy. It's a super quick knit. I whipped this up within a week, and I have a full-time job, so this was very quick for me to knit because I'm not that very much a quick knitter, but this was really easy and really quick done, and I just love it. And when I'm in love with something, I would like to have it in several colors, and that's the plan of action. I searched the internet for some other lovely colors, and let me tell you, the shop from Knitting for Olive and Wollerödel are going to be very happy about me when I'm ordering lots and lots of mohair yarn from them. About the sizing, I wasn't quite sure in the first place because the pattern says that the more you will wear the cardigan, the more it will grow on you, and I'm not very sure about these details in knitting wear. So I decided to do the safe thing and make this cardigan in an extra small, and I think it turned out quite well for me. Arms are long enough, the body is long enough for me, and I personally like when cardigans especially are more fitted to my body. So I was really happy when the extra small turned out quite well for me. Although I have to say, when I do the cardigan a second or third or fourth time maybe, I will try and do just the small size, because I think I can get away with a bit more slouchiness to it, because sometimes I do like when knitwear is a bit more slouchy and not that fitted on me. So yes, that's my Sunday cardigan mohair edition. So let's talk about works in progress, and here I have quite a selection for you. The first thing will be quite familiar for you because I already showed it to you, and it's The Birds of a Feather Shawl by Andrea Mari. And as you can see, I did a little bit of progress. I did the next mohair section and the sock yarn section, and again I'm on a mohair section. And I think the more the shawl is growing, the more I can't wait to the day when I finally can wear it and enjoy this beautiful shawl. So you can see I have quite a bit to do, but it's a very pleasure to me to knit this. Again, most people don't like when you say there are some mindless knitting projects, but it is a very calming project. I really enjoy doing it, and I think the finished pieces are looking very luxurious, very delicate, and of course I need to block especially the lace bits, but I'm very pleased with it, and I think again I will do more than one of these beautiful shawls, and I really will enjoy wearing them. The next two projects belong together, and I have to say they look a bit sorry for themselves. And I'm talking about little jumpers. This is the first one. You can see I made the body in one piece in a round, and then I separated the back and the front. And this little guy and its bigger brother are going to be shawl pullovers. I will show you some pictures of a finished one so you know what I'm talking about. The story to this is a little bit funny. So I have this one and I have this one. You can see I'm on Sleeve Island on this one, but what's missing is the shawl bit and the other arm, and that's the back. So the story to these beauties is that when my little nephew was born 2 years ago, I made a shawl pullover for him, and my cousin was very impressed by this pullover and wanted one for herself for her son. So I said, okay, I will do it. Of course, I love knitting and I love knitting these shawl pullovers. So the problem was that I had no measurements from the little guy I was doing it for. So I searched the internet for some measurements, and according to these measurements I made this little guy. And the problem was when my cousin finally had given the measurements to me, this little piece was too small. Although I checked the website for the measurements, it turned out way too small, so I had to stop working on that. Although I think it's really cute with these stripes, and it's blocked already, and of course the sleeves are missing and the shawl itself is missing, but I will finish this anyway because I think it's very cute, and you never know when your best friends are coming around and say, hey, I'm expecting a baby. So I have a very first present for them. So I think it's not a loss at all, but I'm quite a bit sad because I already saw him wearing this little jumper, but never mind. So instead I made this one with the right measurements, and you can see the yarn is much thicker than the other yarn was. This is an Aran weight yarn, It's very chunky, very warm, and the little guy is living in the countryside, and he is non-stop on the go with his auntie, going through the woods and going with his dog. So I think he will have very much wear out of it in the colder months, and I think he even need a jacket over it because it's very thick, but nevertheless very lightweight, and it will keep him very warm. If you're interested in the pattern, I don't have one. I just made this up 2 years ago. My lovely boyfriend has a pullover with a shawl neck, and I just adapted it and tried to make it work for a 2-year-old little boy. And I think it will turn out very easily and very nice. And of course, I will share it in the next podcast with you. If you're interested in seeing how I made this up, just leave me a comment, and maybe if there are a lot of people who are interested in it, I will love to share how I made this and maybe give you some tips and advice for making your own shawl pullover for the little ones, or maybe for yourself. You never know. Just let me know. If you have watched my first podcast, you will know that I am working on a Scott cardigan, aka Scott bomber jacket. I changed the construction of the Scott cardigan quite a bit, but it is still in its naughty corner, and I wasn't bothered to pick it up and work on it. Maybe when it's getting colder outside and I'm in desperate need of a warm jacket, I will pull it out and finish it. But stay tuned for that. I think this year it's going to be finished. But let me make no promises, because I don't know. I'm not that interested now in working with this heavy yarn at the moment, so we'll see. No pressure on that, I think. Okay, future projects. Well, I have quite a selection of yarn and quite a selection of patterns ready to be knitted. But let me tell you a bit of a backstory. When I first started knitting, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago, I was desperately yarn shopping, and I only shopped 1 or 2 skeins. And if you are like knitting for yourself, something to wear, you know that you can get a long way with just 1 skein or 2 skeins. And when I talk about a skein, I mean 50 grams. So I saw these beautiful yarns and thought, I need to have them. But when I had them, I had not enough, and so I didn't know what to do with them. So I stopped this habit and thought, okay, you stop your yarn shopping and just check on some patterns you would like to knit up and have in your wardrobe. So that's what I did. And I have quite a selection of yarn and patterns now in my stash that are desperately waiting to be finished and to be worn. So let me share these with you now. first future project I'm planning to do is making the Amulet shawl. And I saw a very lovely picture on Instagram from Cardigan Yarns, and she made the Amulet shawl in her beautifully dyed silky sock yarn. And I have these two skeins here, and these colors she used for her own Amulet shawl, and I thought I need to have it. And when you look on the picture, I think it gives you a very antique feeling. At least that is what comes to mind when I see this picture. I think it looks very antique and Victorian, and I really love the combination of these two skeins. I will show you the colorways here on the screen. I can't remember them right now, but it's a lovely mauve shade, as you can see, and the other one is a bit more gray bluish toned, but the combination of both, I think it's really pretty and shiny, and I think this will be cast on soon. The special thing about the Amulet shawl is that you can add some beads at the rim of the shawl, and I have chosen two kinds. I don't know which one I will use, but I think both of them will look very pretty, and you will see it here what decision I will have made on the beads for the Amulet shawl. The second project I'm planning for the future is, I guess, well known amongst you viewers. And the project I'm talking about is the Soldotna crop from Caitlin Hunter. I know I'm quite late to the game, but I think the 1st of autumn would be the perfect day to maybe start on that. I don't know. I look at my stash right now and I think the colors are very pretty, and I really need to share those with you right now. So let me get them here. So, this is the beautiful yarn I will work with when I'm doing my version of the Soldotna crop. You can see the yarn is by Cardigan Yarns. I think she is doing a very great job with hand dyeing her yarn, and I think the combinations I had chosen are just very beautiful and fitting for the Soldotna crop. So this is the first one. I mean, look at it. It's just beautiful. It's mostly grayish in several gray tones with some rusty orangey brownish speckles in it. Lovely. We have the colorway Ironheart. It's mostly a bluish color with some teal in it, some petrol speckles, and again some rusty orange speckles. So this is the second. We have She's a Lady colorway, a lovely mauvey color again. Some several mauvey tones in it. I really like that. I think hand-dyed yarn doesn't need to be very perfect. I think that is the beauty of hand-dyed yarn, right? So this is She's a Lady. And this one is Dried Roses. We have a pinky, pastel pinky base and some green and blue and green speckles in it. And again, I really love this colorway, and you will know why in a second. So these are my colors for the Soldotna crop, and maybe I will start on these in the afternoon. Maybe, I don't know. We will see. I will keep you updated on that. But these are the babies for the Soldotna crop. And the third future project is another pullover, and it's the Daydreamer by Andrea Maury. And again, I choose some Cardigan yarn. These are just 2 of the 3 each I have. You can see I already made them up into yarn cakes, so maybe I will start on the Daydreamer. or maybe on the Soldotner crop. I don't know. Please send help. I can decide what I will do next. But let me tell you first about the Daydreamer. So I again have some sock yarn from Cardigan yarns, and the first one you have already seen because it's again Dried Roses by Cardigan yarns. It's another base. It's a soft sock base. The other ones are decay bases, and it's the same colorway. It's a rosy main color, and we have green and brown and blue speckles. Yes, and I think it's a very lovely color. And in addition to that, I will use this lovely soft mohair yarn again from Cardigan yarns, and this is the colorway Rose Gold. And I think the combination of both will look very beautiful. So again, I can wait to have the finished Daydreamer pullover in my stash and on my body, and can show it to you in some of my future knitting podcasts. So keep an eye on that because it's coming to you. The last thing I would like to share with you is a book I discovered. It's this book. It's called Knit Vintage. And we have here more than 20 patterns from the 1930s, 40s and 50s. And you can see it's lined with a foil, and it reminds me of the school books because in Germany you have to make your school books into these clear foils so the books won't be damaged while you're using them for the season. And when I ordered this book on Amazon, I thought, okay, it's used, it's fine, it will do the job. But when it came from the UK, and it came from, Lancashire County Library. Maybe some of you will know where that is. And I thought, oh, that's so lovely. It gives it so much character. I don't know, but it's a book from the library. I don't know, I think it gives it more of character because I imagine that a lot of women had read this book and maybe knit some of the beautiful, beautiful patterns from here. I would like to share quickly the pattern that sold me totally to this book, and this is of course another cardigan, and it is this Wally's pleated cardigan in a lovely blue grayish color, and I really love everything about it. I love the buttons, I love the ribbing detail that goes quite high up to the bust, and I love this neckline. I mean, look at this neckline. I think it elongates your neck very nicely, and it looks very elegant and feminine, and that's another project that I would like to whip up in the future, so stay tuned to that. But other than that, I can really recommend this book to you if you are into vintage knitting. I think there are some very delicate and feminine patterns in it that you can rip up easily. And if you like these kind of things, you should have a look into this lovely book. So that's it for today's podcast. I hope you enjoyed the little projects I had to share with you today. I personally really enjoy doing these podcasts for you. It's sometimes quite hard for me to juggle all my interests as well as my private life and my work life, and it's quite hard to keep everything in balance. But I really enjoy doing these podcasts and share my creative adventures with you. And if you do enjoy these podcasts too, I would be happy about a comment. What are you up to doing, or what are your maybe tips and tricks to balance every aspect of your life? Maybe I can learn something from you, so just leave me a comment and I will try them out. I hope you have a very good balanced creative life as well as private life and enjoy every single minute of it. So if you would like to follow me during now and the next podcast, you can do so on Instagram. There I am just at Sarah van Draad. Until then, I wish you a pleasant time, take care, and bye bye.